Hi everyone, this is Raziek from the Robin Boards. Decided to take this chance to make a moveset video, go over a couple things with Robin, and just talk about her moveset in general. The first thing to talk about is the jabs. We have jab 1, jab 2, and then the follow-up into the fire combo. Does about 10 damage for the full combo. I won't go through all of the damage values for every single move, as you can just find those in the moveset thread. But I will just give a visual reference for all of them here while we're at it. We have forward tilt, which is a quick forward sword slice. Forward tilt is going to be very useful as an option out of a dash pivot, which you can do by dashing and then doing the attack in the other direction as you dash. If I could get it to work, there we go. Robin's dash attack is fairly slow and laggy, as you can see from buffering a shield here, but it is somewhat strong. Up tilt is a fast anti-air that hits basically directly above Robin. It does not have much horizontal range, as you can see. It generally whiffs, despite the hitbox looking like it might hit. So don't count on that for a horizontal approach cover, but it is great just above, and it's fairly fast recovery. Down tilt is one of Robin's better moves, coming out extremely quick as well as ending very quickly. As you can see, you're able to shield almost immediately after using it. Definitely going to be one of the important close range tools, given that Robin's close tools are not the best. When it comes to smashes, you have forward smash, which comes out with decent range, but is not the fastest. It is a good punish, though, and is one of her better kill moves. Down smash is similarly good. As you can see, it has a small magical shockwave that comes out from the blade. That does less damage and has less knockback, but is an acceptable option if you just need to hit someone who's directly next to you. The hitbox for the actual slice itself only hits behind. If you want to get the actual powerful blow, you need to attack with the blade itself. Up smash is fast and can poke through platforms. Definitely going to be one of her better tools. Not the best horizontal hitbox. There's almost none when using the bronze sword version of the move. But when it comes to the Levin sword, you can at least pick them up into it, though the tip is stronger than the launch side of the blade. Let's see. Breaking the sword here so I can show off some of the bronze sword versions. They're essentially the same, just with less damage and knockback. I believe they have slightly less range, but I'm not certain. For forward air is one of her better aerials. It has a little bit of startup, but excellent range. And from my experience, it is possible. It will likely be possible to combo forward air into itself if you hit them as you're rising. It's not too difficult to find a situation where you hit it as you're rising and then catch them with another one, depending on the percentage. Back air is a very fast zoning tool that comes out quickly and has a nice auto-cancel window, as you can see. You can't really fast fall it, as you'll get lagged that way, but it is a great retreating tool, and will certainly be much more practical once we actually have a C-stick to work with. Similar thing for forward tilt or forward air. Once you can retreat that, the lean on the move will make it pretty safe. Down air is almost useless as a bronze sword move. You should basically never use it. It has almost no horizontal range. That was the Levin sword down air, which is the only real reason to use the move. On stage, you can get a ground bounce with the Levin sword down air, but it doesn't seem to be enough of one to really follow up with anything significant. Levin sword up air is probably one of, if not Robin's best aerial. It has crazy range. It does respectable damage, and is one of her better kill options. Nair is very close to being a good move, but the recovery is not spectacular, and just the hitboxes aren't really where they need to be. There's also, of course, the fact that because it's bronze sword only, you're not really getting much in the way of damage or knockback out of it. That said, not the worst. Robin's grabs. Robin's standing grab, despite being magical, is very, very, very short range. As you can see, I was able to grab Marth there, but if I move him just slightly farther away, even just like, it looks like you should be able to shield grab somebody who's close to your shield, but it's quite short. Like, you almost have to be touching them. Dash grab is a little bit better. Like most dash grabs, it has some decent recovery on it, as you can see in the amount of time it takes her to get her shield up afterwards. But the hitbox itself is not the worst. You can't quite get them from there, but generally speaking, if you think you're going to get them, you probably will. I expect Robin will be relying most of the time on pivot grabs, as her pivot grab range is actually a little bit better than her standing grab, I believe. Let's see. Nosferatu, the base version of the move, which I have here, does not have the longest range, but does have a fairly generous vertical catch box, as you can see there. You can get somebody from just underneath a platform, and it will teleport you up to where they are, and engage the actual drain portion of the move. If you can catch someone in the air with it. If you do, you will slowly fall off stage as you use it. Talking about her other special moves, Elwind is of course her primary recovery tool. Shoots 2 bursts. They don't really do much damage and have a bit of an awkward knockback angle. Like, as you can see, it really just sends them sideways. You're not really going to be gimping anyone with that. When it comes to the Thunder, you have just the regular Thunder, which is short, small damage, mainly just a poke. Once you get into L Thunder and Arc Thunder, you get into the specials that actually do some decent damage. The Japanese version is called Giga Thunder, but the English translation is Arc Thunder. Once you get it fully charged, you get to Thoron, which is where the real meat of this ability is. As Thoron is actually going to be a reliable kill tool, primarily using Thoron 2, which I'll get to when I cover the special moves in a moment. Arcfire is the side B, and Arcfire 1 has a decent amount of startup, so I wouldn't really use it as a zoning tool unless you're jumping backwards with it. But you can follow it up if you're if you approach with it, or if you catch somebody close to you as you're jumping away. I believe that covers the basic moveset other than the throws. Down throw, ground bounces, puts them above you. Should be able to get follow-ups on heavy characters at lower percents. Either down throw, up air, possibly down throw, up smash on some characters. Forward throw is basically only for positioning. It has damn near no knockback. Martha's at 192 at the moment, as you can see on the bottom screen there. Back throw is the closest thing she has to a kill throw, and even then, that didn't kill at 200. It's not the best throw. Robin's going to be looking for kills with up air, back air, and her smashes. Up throw, similarly bad. Basically just positioning throws. I will show off some of the alternate movesets now quickly, before this video gets too much longer, because I think I'm getting close to my YouTube upload limit. This is the version with all of the second level specials. Thoron 2 is by far the most useful of the bunch. Thoron 2 takes longer to charge, but does a great deal of additional damage. As you can see, 5 for Thunder, 14 for L Thunder, 15 for Arc Thunder, and for Thoron, there are 2 levels you can get. It seems to vary based on how many hits of the actual move you get. So heavier characters and characters with larger hitboxes, you'll get more damage. Ganon, I think you'll get like 20. Though actually this may be a facet of Ganon having a custom moveset on. Give me a second. Let's see. Let's go back to Mario. But however, Thoron 2 also has a feature where if you hold the button after you fire off Thoron, it does additional damage and knockback. As you can see here, just firing off the regular Thoron on its own does 17. However, if I charge it all the way up and then hold the button after releasing it, it does 31 and it does additional knockback. That particular version of the move is quite strong, as I believe it will kill around 85 or so from memory. Definitely going to be one of her stronger tools. Definitely worth the charge time. Arcfire 2 has a bit of startup on it, but goes nearly horizontally and has a large explosion. The knockback growth isn't really enough to kill anybody, but I can see this having niche uses in some matchups. Nosferatu 2 is basically just Nosferatu 1 with a longer startup and doing less damage. However, at the benefit of additional range. You can grab somebody from almost the middle of battlefield. And that'll have uses, but I have a feeling Nosferatu 1 is going to be usually the one chosen. Just based on the... it's balanced, so to speak. I'll talk about that a little more when we get to Nosferatu 3. Elwind 2 gives a big pause between the first and second jumps, and as you can see, the second goes quite a bit higher. The downside to that is you have almost no horizontal control during the move. Like, I'm holding left the entire time that's going. So it's basically like Wolf's up B from Brawl. So I don't think Elwind 2 is going to be particularly useful. Robin's floaty enough that Elwind 1 should be able to get the job done almost any time. So I won't see much use for that one. This is the set with the third versions of the moves on them. The standout here being Arcfire 3. Arcfire 3 shoots a fireball nearly vertically, which is extremely fast, and you can approach with because it ignites on shield and has 2 hits. So it's definitely going to be probably the best Arcfire. Like, I can see myself using this almost all of the time. It is, of course, easy to break since Arcfire only has 6 uses. Thoron 3 charges extremely quickly, but is very weak. Like, that only did 7%, and the Thoron itself only does 10. I don't see Thoron 3 really being that useful. If you want a zone, you're probably going to be doing it with Arcfire 3. Though, I could see it having some use, it's just not particularly well-suited, in my opinion. Nosferatu 3 has a wind box that pulls them into the main hitbox, and a much larger range. However, it has additional startup and completely removes the healing portion of the move. As you can see, if I turn us both up to 20% and use it, you can see Robin isn't healing at all. I believe that covers most of the basic moveset. I don't think I missed anything. Oh, Elwind 3, right, the other recovery. Has you go horizontally and then upwards. It might have some use for being able to gimp offstage opponents with the backwards hitbox of it, but I'm not sure what the angle is like on it. I think it will probably just be worthwhile to use Elwind 1 most of the time, because Robin is extremely floaty. So if you're hit off stage, you should be able to float almost all the way, if not all the way back to the stage. and the extra horizontal recovery isn't really going to do you much good. There is one little gimmick you can do with Elwind 3, which I will demonstrate quickly, which has to do with using Elwind into a slope. If you use Elwind into a slope, it carries your momentum, much like using Wolf's Side B into a slope does, and can allow you to do some neat little tricks. The recovery isn't terribly fast, so it's not exactly a mix-up tool, but you can sneak past somebody who's right next to the ledge, should they be getting antsy and trying to stop you. I believe that about wraps it up for all the things I wanted to cover in this video. I mainly made this just to show Shia the dash grab ranges and whatnot, and figured I would take a chance to turn this into something a little bit more. So, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you around the Robin boards.